If you happen to have one of these souvenir ice programs from the 1996 first rendition of Toy Story on Ice, what you might have here is a little bit of evolutionary costume gold.
Howdy, Disney fans! It's time to take a look at the evolution of the rootinest, tootinest cowboy ever, Woody. Somebody's poisoned the Dole Whip. There's a vlogger in my ride vehicle.
Let me take you back to a time called 1995, where Disney and Pixar released the iconic Toy Story. And it was a smash hit right away in the theaters. Everyone loved this movie, and Disney knew it. And so right away, right in 1995, we get the first appearance of a live costume character, Woody, in the Disney Christmas Parade. And holy smokes,
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Hello.
Listen to Regis Philbin talk to these two.
Merry Christmas, everybody, and welcome to Walt Disney World in Florida.
What are these voices? Whose voices? What are these voices? What are these voices? What are these voices?
Hello.
So the first Woody costume character we get is this very high glossed, kind of shiny. He kind of looks like wet and sticky. He's got bright rosy cheeks, and his features are just all a little bit too tightly compressed together, because what they were doing was kind of giving you that interpretation of that plasticky animated looking figure in the parks, like they were known to do with other characters, translating screen to real life. And whatever's going on with the eyelids makes Woody just look tired and upset. He just looks like Dad on a Sunday. He just wants to sleep. Can you guys keep it down? Woody's got to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning to entertain Andy. He just needs a little bit of shut-eye. Just let him sleep for 5 more minutes. But you know what? The rest of the costume, with the scarf, the holster, the jeans, the boots, they do a really beautiful job of translating it right away from screen to park almost instantly. Immediately we're met with the biggest problem we're gonna have with the Woody costume character throughout the rest of the iterations: proportions. You know what happens when you make Barbie human scale? She looks like a disfigured monster because, body standards aren't toys. So when you try to take a skinny, dangly sheriff cowboy toy and translate it into human proportions, it gets a little weird. Now, Woody costumes follow a little bit of a pattern, and that is they only get updated when a new Toy Story movie drops. So the Woody in the parks from 1995 stuck around in the parks all the way through till 1999 when Toy Story 2 drops. Now, this is a really cool thing that they did, because over in the Golden Horseshoe, they had a special show that was the Woody Roundup, Jesse Bullseye kind of live action special with sepia-toned costume characters. Look at these things. Look at how beautiful this is. This isn't trickery of the camera. These are sepia-toned live action costume characters to make it look like you're watching the black and white Woody's Roundup like you saw in Toy Story 2. This modified costume fixed a few things. First, it made his skin matte. We got rid of that glossy finish. We're tired of now looking at what toys might look like poorly animated in real life. Now, we're just gonna make a mascot for the Woody toy as if it was a canon mascot that you'd be able to meet at Al's Toy Barn. And with that, we kind of get what we do with Mario or with Shrek. We're taking an iconic character and we're translating it into this real world application. A lot better than Sleepy Dad, you know what I mean? Don't Wake Daddy, Woody, is upgraded here in 1999-2000 for Toy Story 2, and I'm loving it. As much as I can, because still, the proportions aren't right. Something's not right. It's, let me know in the comments what proportions of Woody's you don't like. Because I can't quite put a finger on it, but I'm not comfortable talking about it. This Woody in the parks sticks around for close to 20 years. Now, listen, we jazz him up occasionally. He gets some Christmas variants, all right? Mickey's Merriest Christmas Party is coming out there rocking a tight vest and like a candy cane weapon. I'm not sure exactly what message they're sending with the candy cane holster, but they don't mess around with the costume. And for the longest time, we're all looking at it, we're like, God, it's been 20 years. Well, in 2021, over in some of the Asia parks, they began to roll out this brand new, beautiful Woody costume. Look at it. Look at it. The face, the eyebrows, no more underlid, no more sleepy, tired Woody. Now we have bright-eyed, ready to take on whatever skeeving antiquary doll that wants to, like, you know, harvest his organs.
Yay!
Oh.
You are my best friend.
It's okay, it's okay. That was weird. That was weird. I'm gonna rip your heart out and stick it in me? What message were we sending in Toy Story 4? Magic candles, they really smell the best. Magic candles, better than all the rest. They're the smelliest, jolliest theme park candles in the Wild Wild West. Magic Candle Company.com. Coupon code DisneyDan15 for 50% off your order. Link in the description. While Woody in the parks may have been thriving, Woody on Ice, trash. This is the Woody that was ultimately used in the live-action Toy Story on Ice in the late 90s. He's got that helmet head of plastic hair, and he's live face actor, but it didn't start that way. It unfortunately started like this. I don't know what the choice was to make Woody and Buzz masked characters when you have characters like Bo Peep and Strongman as live face. And ultimately, I think that the horrific nightmare that is this is ultimately what led to them using a live face Woody for the first rendition of Toy Story on Ice. But it's not good. It's not good. Then Toy Story 2 rolls around, and they put it on ice, and it was a conscious decision to make sure that everything looked different. This is horror movie Woody. This is Michael Myers, blank stares, hollow eyes, blank features. You don't want to wake up in the middle of the night and see this lurking in the shadows in the corners of your bedroom watching you sleep. This makes me not feel good inside. And they had multiple heads. Ones with happy faces, ones with sad faces, ones with hats on, ones with hats off. And they were constantly rotating the heads that were clipped on to give Woody emotion because they needed to make sure that Woody could read from the back, because in Toy Story 1, people didn't like that it was a... Lots of decisions were made here, folks. In 2009, Disney on Ice Let's Celebrate debuts, and we have a brand new Woody costume. And this new version of Woody rolls out across all Disney on Ice platforms for any segments that Woody may appear in. But just 1 year later, Toy Story 3 drops. And with it, we get some of the strongest choices we've made on ice. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I'm showing you this. Woo! We're back to live face actor Woody, and now he's got these football player white streaks under his eyes to give height, accent, visualization of his eyes from a distance, but it's still his face, and what happens if you're sitting in the front row? It's really uncomfortable. But everything else about the costume looks swell. I love it. It's all really coming together. They really, really nail it outside of the questionable eye makeup. Yeah. From Toy Story 3 on, Woody really solidified his look on ice, and now he appears in multiple numbers. There are tons of Disney on Ice shows that are just compilations of moments from movies, and we have this relatively polished Woody that makes appearances that's kind of based on the Toy Story 3 look, but even more polished and refined with some better features. We talked about Woody in the parks, we talked about Woody on the ice. Now let's talk about Woody that was the slam dunk of all Woodies, the Cruisicle. 2008's Toy Story the Musical on the Disney Wonder was a slam dunk, and it's a beautiful costume using a combination of materials like neoprene, thrown foam that allows the hairpiece. It moves beautifully, like you would assume a Stitch doll would move. There's a stiffness to it, but yet also a softness to it. really, really a beautiful job. And that's what we get, right? That's what we see. Whenever you take one of these shows and turn it into a Broadway-style thing, you're gonna get the cream of the crop when it comes to an amalgamation of every good design choice for a costume. Like a canceled attraction at Holy Land, we have challenged the face of God by erecting a statue to our one true glorious passion and love, Toy Story Land Woody. Look at this thing. I'm pretty sure that, like, you know, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had a lot of stuff going on with King Nebuchadnezzar. I'm pretty sure we're breaking at least 3 commandments with this statue. I'm pretty positive. This statue's pretty great. It first debuted over in the 2010s at Hong Kong Disneyland, and then other parks like Paris started to get Toy Story lands, but they didn't build a giant Woody, and it wasn't until, again, in the late 2010s that Hollywood Studios built a Toy Story land and copied the statue over. Listen, this Toy Story land kind of thing that we're having across all the parks, there's not really a lot of common thread in the storytelling of giant statues that challenge the face of God. That's all I'm saying. We need to have a little bit more consistency. We have 2 giant Buzzes, one in Paris, one in Florida. There's a giant Woody in Florida and a giant... maybe these things are all going to come to life if we challenge God too much. Dear sweet baby Broadway Jesus, please do not punish me for walking past the giant Woody that speaks, but lips do not move.
Reach for the sky.
All right, guys, we need to repent. We need to repent. So while Woody hasn't had necessarily a complicated evolution, he has gone through some stuff. This is a deputy sheriff that you do not want to mess with, all right? He has seen some things. And you know what? After this video, so have all of we.
Hello?
I know you spotted some other costumes in this video, like say Jessie or Buzz, so let me know in the comments below if there's other Toy Story characters you want me to deep dive and do an evolution of, as well as what other characters and stuff you want to hear me talk about. Let me know in the comments or on Facebook, Patreon, Instagram, Twitter. I love hearing from you guys. I love when you watch. Thanks for watching, guys. As always.
You rock. You're my favorite cast member. This Toontown ain't big enough for the 2 of us. Reach for the Skyliner, Disney's newest form of alternate transportation.